Oh, that looks a bit better. Oh, 11:44 p.m. It's Wednesday night. And I'm just going to do a little bit more reading of Saturday's nice Vovos. And if you can't cop the exorbitant rise in the rates on the chin, hi Josh, you sell. The council and the developers want you to sell. You can bet your life on that. And because most, if not all, can't afford not to, they do. And all those who own their homes on the east side of Jackson Street, half a mile from the city centre, did exactly that in 2002. Now the area is all villas and townhouses. Like I said, too many people. Some of the past residents took up the option to buy at what was said to be a special price. But most moved on, never to be seen again. I often think about those people. Hello, Carla, how are you? Howdy doody to you too. Yeah, I got a light. I got a light way over here. And yeah, it's much better, isn't it? Too bad the broadcast can't go on ad infinitum, so to speak. That done. 10, 12 minutes and that's it. Yeah. Some of the past residents took up the option to buy what was said to be a special price, but most moved on, never to be seen again. I often think about those people and what they went on to. I knew most of them, you see. Still, time and tide waits for no one, and change is inevitable. But with my prognosis, I'm starting to give serious thought as to what will happen to my estate when I'm gone, even though I might not be gone in the truer sense. Maybe it's time I sought professional advice, voice all my concerns while I still can and still understand what I'm being told. Can't be too careful and take anything for granted these days, can you? No, you can't. My biggest concern, though, is that I don't have any family to leave my estate to should I die before my mind does. Nor is there anyone I know. Thank you very much, Carla. Thank you. Nor is there anyone I know who is truly deserving. It's a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Decisions, decisions, decisions. I think I might have a mug of tea and do today's crossword and think about it in between thinking about the clues while munching on an iced Vovo biscuit or two. I like iced Vovo biscuits. Have since I was a little boy. Some things never change, do they? No. They just get smaller, whereas many crosswords have gotten bigger. But the way I fill in a crossword has changed over the years. I started doing crosswords when I was 12 and always used a pencil. I made a lot of mistakes, you see. But you learn from your mistakes, or at least you should. I did. And for the past 40 years, I've been using a ballpoint pen. Not bad. No mistakes, especially for someone who's losing their mind. And because I read a lot, I don't have any problems with clues that have to do with modern technology and all. If I didn't read and keep in touch, I would. But I do, so I don't. I'm not in all the latest gizmos and gadgets, mind you, even though I know what's out there and all the mind-boggling things they can do. How true. I don't even have a mobile phone. I do, and it's sitting right here. Most of the time, it acts as a paperweight. I don't carry my mobile. Anyhow, I'm digressing. Oh. Don't have any use for one. I don't have anyone I need to call while I'm walking, driving, or standing in a queue. Seems to me most people just can't do without them. And one is never enough, is it? Hello, Glinda. How are you? Welcome to the broadcast and more reading. And yes. And one is never enough, is it? Oh, no. One of just about everything and anything isn't enough. for the greater majority in this day and age. Nobody seems to be satisfied with what they already have anymore. Everyone seems to be obsessed with the material things in life. I want, I need, I must have at any cost. To have it all and have a good time and pay for it later seems to be the motto of today's society. But with all the things we have and the free time to enjoy them, we're not a happy society anymore, are we? It seems that way. No, we used to be. Once upon a time, not too long ago, when we didn't have a lot of things, but what we had was all we needed, and we were happy for it. But not now. Now we're an angry, violent, aggressive, ignorant, arrogant society with everything, including attitude. And we're unhappy because of it. The whole world is these days, including me. Well, maybe I'm being a little overdramatic when it comes to me. Okay. With the majority of others too, including the rest of the world. But it seems that way, doesn't it? Oh dear. Pauline, hello, Pauline. How are you going? And Kyle, welcome to the broadcast and this short reading. I just get rid of this notification from Chucky2009. He's a welder, young bloke, does some good videos. Anyhow, I will admit that I do get angry at times and I'm also unhappy at times. Sometimes the two go hand in hand, like it is with man's inhumanity to man. I see a lot of that going on in today's world. Too much. But when I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I wasn't angry. I'm just very unhappy. Not to mention devastated. The anger came later. Still does now and again. The paper delivery guy makes me angry too at times. They do the minority of mindless aberrations wandering the streets 24/7, making a damn nuisance of themselves. Seems they just can't help themselves, helping themselves to just about anything, even if it's firmly secured. Oh, I've been okay, thanks. Thanks, Kyle. I've been breathing okay, but my gut's been playing up. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm sure I'll get it sorted out eventually. And if by chance they can't help themselves to something because it's too big or too heavy, they destroy it or deface it. Doesn't happen all that often down my end of Jackson Street, thankfully. I guess they're too lazy or too intoxicated. Maybe both. But it happens with monotonous regularity closer to the city centre. I know firsthand about that. See it all the time when I walk to work. To make a point, one of the many townhouse complexes has an impressive solid sandstone front fence. Very aesthetically pleasing and colonial through and through. Sydney Rock sort of colonial, if you know what I mean. Not grand and pretentious, mind you, but it stands out nonetheless. Like black against white and vice versa. The reason it stands out, though, is because all the other fencing in Jackson Street, including those of the other complexes, is ordinary by comparison. I'm losing my voice again. Excuse me. Oh, I haven't got my water down here. I can't flick my fingers anymore. Got any tea left? Not be enough. Oh, it might be enough to wet the whistle. I haven't got long to go. It'll start breaking up in a couple of minutes. The fence, as the locals call it, has a series of sections separated by square pillars that stand about a foot higher than the height of the fence proper, which is my chest high, or about 4 feet. The fence ends abruptly, of course, each side of the main entrance to the driveway, where 2 massive stone pillars stand sentinel and play host to the 6 letterboxes, 3 embedded in the face of each pillar. The stone is a pale yellow with streaks of light copper throughout. Like I said, It stands out. It stands out so much that the transient vandals singled it out for demolition. Made a real mess by using an uprooted street sign, complete with its concrete footing as a battering ram. Maybe it was the same moronic imbeciles who made off with all the stone capping from one of the sections a week earlier. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Please tell me if I'm starting to break up. But that wasn't the end of it. One night, all but the entire length of the fence was covered with expletive graffiti, 4-letter words and requests for oral gratification everywhere. Then, and this defies the odds when it comes to getting away with something, someone or a few someones stole 3 of the massive sandstone blocks. Thank you very much, Pauline. Well, if you keep listening to the readings, Kyle, you will find out. But I'll tell you, I've got enough time before it breaks up. It's about an older man. His name is Bill Williams. And he lives alone. He's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And he decides to quit his job, basically, and enjoy what remains of his life. And as he does so, he tells the story of his life to one special young man, which you will come across eventually if you listen to the readings. I'm not going to give anything else away. Thank you, Carla. Yes, it's about my book. So is that good enough? Yay? Yay? No? No. No, it's not. It's a fictional story. It's fiction. No, it's not a real person. No, but it could be a real person. Right. Or a few someone stole 3 of the massive sandstone blocks. Just goes to show what lengths some people will go to and how brazen they are. Hello, Dill. How are you, my friend? Glad you could come on board. You'll probably come on just as I'm starting to finish up and the broadcast will break down. Well, thank you, Carla. I try and make my stories real, even though they're fictitious. Thank you very much. God only knows how someone didn't spot them. When you consider how long it must have taken, must have happened very early one morning during a thunderstorm, is all I can think of. And they must have been prepared too. Each block must weigh 200 pounds. The fence has been repaired and thoroughly cleaned, but the police have increased the number of times they patrol the area. But it would be a brave person to bet their life it wouldn't happen again. No, of course it would happen again. It happens in every town and city. Mindless vandalism and destruction. See it here in my hometown all the time. How are we going? Any breaking down of the broadcast? Okay. I, on the other hand, have never stolen anything. All good. Thank you, Pauline. I think that's true of most people. I don't lie anymore either. You have to have a good memory to be a liar. Thank you, Kyle. And that's true too. You have to have a good memory to be a liar. I haven't got a good memory. I got a memory for trivial things. But I'm digressing again. I've known a few in my lifetime, though. Knew they were liars too. They didn't think I knew, but you can always tell. Even a chronic liar who is so used to lying that they no longer know they're lying, even when they say they're telling you the truth, you can tell. Well, thank you, Carla. Yes, I know you're a writer. You're a very talented woman. I admire you very much. So get stuck into those books and finish them while you can, because time and tide waits for no one, my friend. It's their eyes, you see. That's true. A friend of my brother's, this is what I base all my writing on, is my experience through my lifetime. even the little things, you can turn them into stories. Might be a word that someone said, or it might be a little incident that happened. It could be a major incident too, but all sorts of things that can prompt you to fire up your imagination. My brother's friend was like that. He was a liar. He was a dead set liar, and you could tell it through his eyes. Every time he told a lie, you could look in his eyes and you could just tell. Begging to break. Yeah. Beginning to break. Okay, well, that's 15 minutes. I'll probably have to call it quits. Well, I want to thank you all very, very much for coming on board tonight. It's just hit, breaking. Thank you, Carla. Yeah, it's just watching, and until next time, bye for now. And I'm damn disappointed this keeps breaking up like this. I think I might be forced to get a mobile for a new